Chapter 1 Tea Party of Doom Part 1 Our tale of terror, romance, begins innocently enough. The copper bell sang merrily over the bookshop's age-warped door. A nondescript closed sign now hung in the shop's latticed window. The two departing women exchanged tearful farewells before the brown-eyed brunette set off toward a home at a brisk pace. The blonde remained behind to struggle with the door's lock, muttering to herself under her breath in a less than ladylike manner. Clack! The rusted tumblers fell after a brief battle, and the key was tucked away in a pocket. The petite woman stepped back to stare at the door appraisingly. Safe and secure, she mused. Rightly so. One never knew if a pack of rogue mummeruffs might happen by, after all, or whether or not that wickedly ill-behaved cat might decide to pilfer all of the shop's inkwells again, or moths. Yes, moths were never an idle threat to the safety of the bookshop. Horrid moths with their fluttery little... Oh, hello. What's this? A tug on her dress hem had derailed her thoughts. She dropped her gaze downward, eyebrows raised. Park guests of any given generation called him the March Hare. To those who shared his world, he was simply known as Ears, and truth be told, he much preferred the latter. His liquid brown eyes ogled up at her in an unmistakably friendly fashion. Nevertheless, memories of past experiences urged her to pull away from him and run, hide, locate an appropriate weapon? A golf club, perhaps. No, wait. This was early May, not March. She inwardly reminded herself that she actually liked the hair when it wasn't March. Hello, Alice! He bellowed his greeting upward under the pretense that she might not hear him so easily, given the vast difference in height. He grinned sheepishly as she stuck her pinky finger in ear and wiggled it. So very sorry. Old habit, don't you know? Quite. No worries. She indulged him with a smile. Minuscule brown paws tightened their hold on the hem of her ankle-length skirt. You will come to tea tonight, yes? Yes? Alice screwed up her face in a most endearing manner and fidgeted where she stood. Oh, drat. I was afraid you might ask such a thing. Really, friend, I've yet to actually drink any tea at your tea parties. And... Her expression curdled, as if she had just noticed something dreadful peeking at her from under a nearby rock. And that obnoxious hat maker is always there, isn't he? The hair's grip tightened all the more. Who, Reg? Bah, you needn't worry your pretty head about him. I'll keep him on a tight leash. Yes, I will. The fact that he dodged her tea comment entirely did not escape her notice. Please, for old time's sake. His pleading eyes glimmered up at her. She crumbled. Damn those eyes. Why did he always have to use those eyes like that? All right, but I won't be able to stay long. Mind you. The hare didn't allow her the luxury of finishing her sentence. He sprang away from her and bounded away down the sidewalk with a dismissive wave of a paw. His hurried words carried back to her on the early evening breeze. 6 o'clock, then. Don't be late. Clean cup, move down. Reginald's signature battle cry rang over the colorful array of tooting teapots and scattered cups. The apathetic hare sat at the head of the table and watched his overexcited comrade in silence. The infamous hat maker paused in the midst of his shout and stared open-mouthed at the unimpressed rabbit. It would seem that Ears, impressive auditory attributes aside, had not heard the command. Ears not done this thing that must be done. Sacrilege! Traitor! Fiend! He is no friend of mine. Oh, look! A penny! It signs! Reginald hurled himself upon the coin and stuffed it into a coat pocket before shifting suspicious eyes toward his quiet companion. The rabbit smiled toothily. Relax. I'm not going to steal your penny. Reg straightened his indolent posture and picked a fleck of lint off his flaming orange sleeve with surgical precision. Penny? I know not of what you mean. His notorious mental stability, or lack thereof, fluctuated to a degree that put the Queen's temper to shame. At any given moment he might seem the sanest soul in all the land, cool and poised, and the next moment he might strike up a conversation with a dead fly on a windowsill, or a shrubbery, or a nice baked potato. He plucked a stray sugar cube off the table and tossed it at the hare, who airily batted away with a well-timed flick of the ear. "The guest you spoke of isn't here yet." He stated this helpfully, as if it had escaped his friend's attention. "Patience. He'll be here shortly enough." "See." Reg reacted to this bit of news the way a cat reacts to the sound of a can opener. "See?" The hare nodded. "Yes, she. A female. Ever heard of those?" He lifted his droll gaze and chuckled faintly. "Of your species, that is." He paused to rethink that. "At least, in a roundabout sort of way." Reginald grinned. "Rather a pretty thing, too." The grin widened. "It's also someone you happen to know." The grin faltered. And true to his traits, Reg suddenly lit off round the table at a gallop, ever and always unpredictable. Clean cup, moo! The soft cough pricked the rabbit's ears. He craned his neck to greet the diminutive blonde with a warm smile as she stepped through the wrought iron gate and daintily picked her way toward the table. "There you are, lovely. Please have a seat. Reg, be a gent, will you? Pull out a chair and scoot her in." Reginald was in fact standing beside an unoccupied chair. Actually, they were all unoccupied. But he obviously had no intentions of neither pulling nor scooting. He had pulled up short from his frenzied race around the table and was gawking at her as if she were some manner of revolting multi-legged insect. He jabbed a shaking finger in her general direction. "What are you doing here?" Her periwinkle gaze fastened on his finger for a moment. "I was invited here. And for heaven's sake, don't point at people like that. It's improper." She canted her head and shot the hare a pained look. Hint taken. An empty teacup was snatched up and bounced off the madman's shoulders with a deft underarm throw. "Reg, manners?" He flinched away from the attacking teacup with a sullen grunt and obediently lowered his arm. "Ah, yes. Oh, the scones. Surely they're ready by now. I'll just go, check on them." Under no circumstances was Ears going to allow himself to be caught between those two. He loathed violence, after all. With a hop and a scurry, he bounced down from the table and sprinted off toward his thatch-roofed house. "Back in a moment." Alice glowered after him. "That's right. Go on and leave me alone with him. Damn you. Damn you straight to hell, bunny boy." 10 minutes later. Clean cup, move down."